only started 19 collegiate starts.
Yeah. Well, okay, we have the NFL draft coming up. The Browns are about to turn into a new team. And
yeah, he's right.
I'm optimistic. I'm very optimistic. I'm always optimistic because I'm a Cleveland Browns fan, and that's just the way you got to be.
Yeah.
Next year is this year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we have 2 picks this year, 2 picks in the first round, 2 picks that are going to change this team and make them the contender we've always wanted. So here's what I thought would be fun to do. We can kind of just go through. I know we've all been like just deeply immersed in this, so we can go through just 4 of the top guys that we think that we have a shot at getting maybe at 4 or somewhere around there. So we'll give a little bit of detail about them, and then I'd like to also get into maybe some second-tier guys. I'm going to trade down to grab a 22, or work something out where you can move up from 22 and maybe give up a second round or something like that. So be creative. At this point, though, I think we got to go with the top of the board, and that would have to be Trent Richardson, and that is who I think Kuiper, 3 or 4 other DST is picking for the Browns. So
I want Richardson.
Well, let's just talk about this guy a little bit.
I do.
He is without a doubt the top running back in the draft, and he has been vaulted as sort of the running back for the past many years to come out in the draft. Now the problem is the running back position has become a very temporary position, and you don't want to spend a lot of capital on that. It's definitely you don't want to spend a high draft pick on that. Richardson, however, might be worth it. He might be not an Adrian Peterson guy, but he might be in that realm at least, and that's a big deal for us. So he's huge. He's got just kind of that perfect sort of build, that perfect sort of speed that you want in a running back. Not only can kind of push it up the middle, but also find that hole and make the defense struggle. He's got a good ability to see the field. Important, of course, when you're looking for that hole, especially when you've got a line that can't exactly make these holes. So, also his ability to catch the ball, and that is going to be big for us.
Huge.
Thank you, Dale. That's exactly right. Very big for us. In a West Coast offense, the way that, or our version of a West Coast offense, we need to have somebody that isn't going to require a fullback to block for him, isn't going to require big blocking tight ends. He's got to be able to punch it through on his own while all the other guys are going out to pretend to receive a pass. So that is exactly why I think Trent Richardson is being sort of put into this 4th pick for the Browns. And we can talk about, I guess, the needs that we have, but we can all agree with the departure of the idiot Rhino, we can focus on this guy as a good grab.
It's a glaring need. I mean, we need a running back.
Definitely.
We need a lot of things.
We do.
We do.
But
let's start off with the running back.
Yeah, let's get a running back.
So, is this sort of some agreement then on pick number 4? If the Browns pick Trent Richardson at number 4, we'll be happy with that. All of us?
I will.
Okay.
I wasn't until I saw his pro day, and the film from that is just amazing. He's in great shape, and his ability and the way he can run, his athleticism, he's the real deal. So.
Are you comfortable with the fact that he has not had any knee surgeries yet?
He has had one.
Has he had one?
Yeah.
Okay, so he can be a Brown.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, okay.
Absolutely. So that's why I'm really comfortable that we'll take him.
No, we'll take him. He has 2.
He needs 2.
A minimum of 2 knee surgeries.
A la Hardesty. So that's nice. So I think maybe we might represent a good portion of the Browns population. We want offense. We want offense with that top pick. We want an offensive playmaker. And if they were to pick, say, a cornerback or something like that, I think we all might just head down to Berea and start. I don't know.
Well,
I was going to get violent there, but maybe I'll just stop there.
I'm glad you mentioned cornerback, because my top tier guy at the number 4 position is Morris Claiborne, cornerback from LSU. Easily the Darrelle Revis of the 2012 NFL Draft. He is a shutdown corner who allows no separation. He's got great hands, 51 tackles his senior year, 6 interceptions. He's the best cornerback in the draft, the fastest cornerback in the draft. He's just an athletic beast. And to put him on the other side of Joe Hayden, I mean, it would just be amazing to join those like the Philly D who have Asamoah or Asante Samuel. He's pretty good. They got him in there too. But just to have those two guys to shut down Roethlisberger and Flacco and the Cincinnati passing game that we're probably going to see growing to the next level this year. To have those two guys out there, I mean, Sheldon Brown is a good number 2 corner. He's in his 10th year, probably going to be wrapping up his career 3 years after 10 years. That's when guys start to lose a step and they start falling down the depth chart. But behind him, we got Buster Skrine, a rookie we took last year. He's fast, but he's very undersized. Didn't see too much from him last year. Dimitri Patterson, James Dockery. We need some depth at cornerback. So Morris Claiborne, a great pick at 4. I would much rather see us take Trent Richardson, but if I heard Claiborne's name called, I wouldn't be disappointed.
I think there'll be some unhappiness, but it really isn't an illogical or a dumb pick, especially when you got a guy like that. The next guy, probably a quality cornerback, if you go down the list, is a guy that has a rap sheet already in Drake Kirkpatrick, and then you go down from there and you got maybe Stephon Gilmore or something like that, and that's now you're talking almost a 2nd round guy.
Yeah.
So if you're going to address cornerback, that's the guy to do it, and I don't know that I wouldn't be happy with it. Honestly, I think our offensive needs are so big right now.
Right.
I don't know that I would be angry about it, but I think, I just think that's kind of, you're going for the best guy on the board maybe at that point,
yeah.
and maybe not the best guy for your team at this point at least. LSU, the winner.
Game Day Battle is brought to you by Bamboozles Restaurant and Lounge in Parma. They have the best drink specials anywhere. Seriously, buy one, get one free drinks. How often do you hear of it? You don't. They do it twice a week. Billy's mom makes the pasta sauce all the time, and the burgers, you simply won't find a better one. Check them out, bamboozles.com. Again, bamboozles.com. When you go there, tell them GDB sent you.
Well, I like all the facts that you guys stated there, but I think we need a wide receiver, was what I've been saying all year. We need somebody who is a big-time playmaker and somebody out there to instill fear in these defenses and draw that double team, because apparently, we don't have that, as we all seen this past season and from years past. So a lot of the mock drafts got us taking Justin Blackmon, 6'1", 211 wide receiver out of Oklahoma State. Just a beast, man. The dude is a big-time playmaker. Game-breaking speed.
Can catch the ball, because we don't have.
Yeah. Greg Littlehands.
Yeah.
But we just behind Cribbs, who's not that wide receiver. Carlton Mitchell. Just players that they're not what we need at this moment. We need that playmaker, that guy who can get those other guys open so they can catch the ball.
Well, wouldn't it be kind of exciting to have a real number 1 wideout, real NFL number 1 wideout?
We don't have that.
Well, one of the things I think that's we've sort of treated a little unfairly is Massaquoi and Little, maybe even Cribbs for that matter, but we're hard on them because Massaquoi is a number 1, Little's supposed to be a number 2 at this point, basically. They're not. That's not what they do. And so maybe we're hard on them because we want them to be the role that they've been given. The reality is, if they didn't have double or triple team, they could probably do some stuff. Little can get separation. We've seen the guy run.
Yeah.
We've seen the guy. He's athletic. He can go up and get a ball. And maybe if he doesn't have to go over 2 or 3 guys, he can actually catch it this time. Wide receiver. Blackmon's not the only wide receiver on the board, and I think that this might be in here a little bit out of the fact that we have an Irishman, but he is a very, very big talent.
You're Irish? I am.
No, that's you. He's a very big talent, and he is somebody that actually has all of the raw skills and has shown that in college, and that is
Mr. Michael Floyd. He's 6'3", 224 pounds. He's experienced 3-year starter with Notre Dame. He's had a little tweak in the knee, no surgeries, but a little tweak in the knee though. But He's excellent size. I mean, 6'3". I mean, that is your Larry Fitzgerald. That is your, type wide receiver you're looking at. He's a huge target. And if you want to talk about the Browns being the number one in drop passes last year, he's really dropped a pass all season long. He's a tough red zone receiver. He likes those corners and he can reach up. He's a fallback receiver. He's durable. He's got quick feet. He's dangerous with the ball in his hands. He's got more yardage after he catches the ball. About a good 30, 40 yards after the catch that he run for.
Yards.
Yak yards. And what would McCoy love to see, since he doesn't have a big arm, a guy he can throw short and, run it. Floyd is somebody that we probably wouldn't get for. We might trade down, or here's another thing we could do, is trade up maybe 8 spots or so, 8, 9 spots, get a second-round pick, or give up a second-round pick and get him. Mm-hmm. And that's something that I think is reasonable to do. Mm-hmm. There are a few other things that we could do at 22, or trading down from 4, or trading up from 22, or something like that. I thought it'd be fun to sort of throw a few of those out. One guy that I think is, I think it's absurd that he's not even mentioned as an option on any mock draft that I've seen, and it's David DeCastro. He's a guard. Now, granted, picking a guard high isn't done often, and it's kind of dumb in a lot of ways. This guy is really, really good, though. He's 6'5", 310 pounds. You can find him out there rated about 340, too, so I don't know what to believe. But he's an elite guy. He's an elite blocker. He is somebody that can take this line that we've already invested a big draft pick in Joe Thomas. We've got Alex Mack on there now. We've invested a ton of money in Steinbach, who's gone, and to put somebody of this caliber with the other 2 elite guys that we've suddenly got really an amazing core, and it makes dropping down to get Alex Mack make a lot more sense, and spending number 3 pick on Joe Thomas.
Phil Taylor.
We dropped down to get Alex Mack too.
Oh, okay, yeah.
The previous year, yeah.
Right, my bad.
But then spending a number 3 pick on Joe Thomas, it doesn't make sense if you still have a bad line. But now if you put together this elite line, and maybe, if not the best, one of the best offensive lines in the NFL, all of a sudden everything makes a lot of sense. We have more time for Colt McCoy or whoever's behind center. We have running backs that have holes. We have receivers that don't have to act as blockers as much, or tight ends that don't have to act as blockers as much. And everything just starts to flow a little better. So I'm not saying we should do it or that we will do it. I'm just saying it's absurd not to consider this option. If there's a way we can trade down to like number 10 or something like that, get a second-round pick, and get this guy, I am ecstatic at that point. I know he's not he's not going to be scoring us a lot of points directly, but he'll make a big difference.
Well, I like the pick. It makes the Trent Richardson pick look even better because you just got the best running back in the draft, and now you dropped one of the best guards into your offensive line. So definitely it's gonna make that pick look a lot smarter. And I also agree that guard, anything on the right side, guard or tackle, is probably one of our top 3 needs. It's up there with running back and wide receiver. That's where it is. And that's where I'm going to go with my guy.
No,
this is where I think we should address the wide receiver position at 22. Add Stephen Hill with Trent Richardson, and the Browns have an instant offense. 6'4", 215, wide receiver from Georgia Tech. Again, Stephen Hill, he's the fastest wide receiver in the game. He ran a 4.3 40. He's got speed like Victor Cruz and Deshaun Jackson, and he's built like Andre Johnson. I can't believe this guy isn't even in the top 10. His size and speed make him a freak of a threat in the National Football League. And you want that big player threat that you can get later that has value. This is the guy. He's got it written all over him. You want that target for Colt McCoy that can go up there and put up Calvin Johnson numbers?